people have asked me about Mike and Kathryn recently, particularly, and I think it makes a lot of sense. If Mike's going to go, whatever reason he goes away from Susan, he's going to be drawn to somebody like Kathryn, who's character-wise less drama, more grounded, more stable. She's sort of the anti-Susan. So people that tell me they don't make any sense together, they make perfect sense together, really. You know, it's just hard to complain. It's a pretty good gig.
Do you play him differently at all, though, when you're doing a scene with Teri as opposed to doing a scene with Dana? Does something change in him? You know, he's slightly different as people are with other people. You know, we have different roles with different people in our lives, but at the same time, you don't have a lot of time with that. And in a show like this, where typically my scenes are basically 2 pages with a single line. I mean, Mike is not, I'm not driving the scene usually, which is absolutely fine with me. So there's not a lot of time to build, I'm going to be completely different. Kathryn affects Mike this way and Susan affects him this way. You know, so you don't have a lot of time for that, honestly. It's in there somewhere, and yes, he's a little bit lighter with Susan, a little bit freer probably, a little more reserved with Kathryn because he's been burned again in this 5-year period. So that stuff's in there with me. I'm not sure you see it. That little MJ kid.
And I actually think that's something that I should work on, which is I think I want to get more specifics into that relationship so you understand the dynamic of why these two people are together, because to me it's rebound for both. And it's something that I think as we go forward, you know, I think especially when the more she gets insecure, the more interesting the relationship will start to become in terms of what she's doing. And then when Mike reacts to that, you'll see it. And, you know, and that's the trick with having so many characters on a show is I could fill up 2 hours every Sunday night, you know, in terms of just trying to tell the stories properly.
No,
because you'll talk to ABC and then they'll make it. So.
Kathryn, you're the only one who hasn't had any loving yet on Desperate Housewives.
Ooh.
If you could choose to have an affair with one of...
I have my eye on the twins.
Thank you very much.
Big baby.
Yeah. How about that, Mark?
As long as one of them's evil, that's fine.
You know, every sweeps period, I whore myself out.
You don't have to answer that.
I was just talking to Kathryn about a love interest for next year. I think, you know, and she actually had a couple of interesting ideas, which were somewhat shocking to me, but I thought, well, okay. So she's not the conservative older woman you would think she would be. No, there's a wildcat in there. So we'll try to fix something up for her.